what do we do in a situation where our cash secured put goes against us? How can we manage it? And in today's video, we're going to be looking at two different ways that I have just managed some cash secured puts that I have in my portfolio. So if you're excited for today's video or just want to know what my breakdown logic is, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, turn on those bell notifications for all future uploads. As you may have seen a previous video I made about how you would sell a cash secured put, there were actually two positions this week that I managed my cash secured puts, and I did it in actually two different ways. And we're going to break down both trades here, what I did, how I adjusted my portfolio to kind of reduce the risk and to try to manage those positions, because at the moment in time, those were trades that were going to expire in the money, which means I'd be buying the shares, and I'll give you guys an example as to what I decided to do. My first trade that I was going to be in the money with, that was going to be expiring this week coming up, which would be April 17th, was on Trade Desk. Now, Trade Desk over the last week down 8.41%. Last month down 26%. It just keeps on falling ever since the beginning of the year, down 47%. Now, this is a company that has been heavily impacted by AI softwares, by Anthropic, and it also had board members leaving and all this kind of stuff. And there was a little bit of hope at one point. You know, we had some share buybacks from the CEO. We had a potential partnership with OpenAI, and there was a little bit of that spike, as you will see right here, all the way up to about $30. And then it's kind of just the euphoria went off, and then some board members left, and the stock continued to fall. What did I do in the situation here? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys my history, and this is one way that you can manage a cash secured put, and this is how I did it. So as you will see here, I sold a $22.50 strike price here for Trade Desk that was going to expire on April 17th. So I was going to be saying that I can buy 100 shares of Trade Desk at $22.50, and I got paid out a premium of $82. And at the time, again, it seemed like a good ROI. You were got a little bit under 4%. Would have been a really good return to look at there. Opened it back up on March 17th. And again, ever since March 17th, so again, literally about a month ago, ever since then, as you will see, as we saw, it has just been on a skyfall, ever since. Been on this downward trend ever since here. And we haven't quite found a bottom. I feel like the bottom may be around $20 or so, but you never know. All these software companies like Adobe, Trade Desk, UiPath, a lot of them, Salesforce, a lot of them have been selling off because of Anthropic and their AI software they're using and stuff like that. So it's like why do we need these companies when you have Anthropic and Claude and all those kind of things, right? So what did I do? So I did not like that. Again, it's at $20.15. I would have been forced to buy at $22.50, and that would have meant I would have already been buying above what it's currently trading at, even in factoring in the premium that I was paid up front. So my break even was going to be around 21, I think it was 68 or something like that would have been. And even still, after the premium factors into my adjusted position, I still would have been buying up shares at a cheaper price. So what did we do? What I did is I rolled this position out. Now, not only did I roll the position out in terms of expiration date, I also rolled the strike price down. And what you'll see here is that this one, I got paid $82 for this to happen, and then what it actually costed, or what it cost me to roll down, was $86. So this was actually a $4 loss right now. Because again, as long as, it expires, worthless in this case here, but I paid $86. I got paid out $82. So I'm down net $4. But what you will see is I rolled the position down in two ways. The strike price went from April down to June. So again, give me a little bit more time for Trade Desk to find a bottom, hopefully get some good earnings reports. Again, there's only a week left of time here, and I could have gotten with an early assignment, so I didn't want to do that. Again, is there still more downside for Trade Desk potentially? So I was like, you know what? Let me de-risk my position here. So not only did I roll it out further in terms of an expiration date to make it where it has more time to find the bottom, but I also was able to lower the strike price as well. $17.50. So what does that mean? What is this position? What is this management going to do? If it stays above $17.50 until June 18th, I lose $4. because it expires worthless. I don't buy the shares. I lose $4 for it. And that's okay. With Robinhood paying out interest for your cash collateral, I'll get like maybe a couple dollars back here and there from that one. So I'll probably about break even. But I would rather be actually giving myself the chance to buy at $17.50 than to buy at $22.50. So not only did I reduce the likelihood of this being assigned here, but now I actually opened up $500 in collateral. Remember, when you sell a cash secured put, $2,250 went into collateral in case I need to buy the shares. Now that I changed my position to $17.50, that extra $5 times 100 shares, that extra $500 in collateral is now back in my account, free to use in other ways, buying shares, options, whatever the case may be, hedging my positions, whatever it is. So I freed up an extra $500 for my portfolio, and it only cost me $4 total, which is great. Again, it's a de-risk that I did here because it just seems like a lot of things are going against Trade Desk right now with the software, with the board members, all that kind of stuff. It just seems like they've been pushing it lower and lower and lower. It is in the S&P 500, but at the rate it's going, it actually could get taken out of the S&P 500. And if that happens, that's going to make this even worse in terms of a share price. So that was my logic of just trying to think about, is there a possibility of it getting delisted from the S&P? Potentially. I don't know when. I don't know what the requirements would be for it. But I didn't want to take the chance, so I pushed it down lower just in case. So that way, if it goes to $17.50, I will 100% buy the shares at $17.50. Take away $500, and also I'm able to then get assigned at a cheaper price. Worst case scenario is obviously it goes a lot lower than $17.50. But again, if it expires worthless, then I'm down $4. But I de-risk my portfolio, and that's what I like. Trade Desk being down this week, down 8%, when SPY was up 4%, is something that's alarming. Because the fact that Trade Desk was able to still be down 8% is crazy, considering the fact that SPY was up 4% about on the week. If you look at other stocks that were in the service ones, or that were in the AI software, ServiceNow, as you'll see, down 18%. Just this week alone, down 18%. You can look at Adobe, for example. Adobe, same thing. Looking at the 1 week out, down 7%. I believe Salesforce was also another one that was also getting hit pretty hard. Look at that. Down 12%. So a lot of these AI software plays, or a lot of these software companies got really impacted negatively because of this AI news from Anthropic about how good their software is and how good their platform is, all that kind of stuff. And people just started just taking their money out. So I was able to roll the position for Trade Desk. Now, how does rolling this position work? So what you would do is, here is the trade right now. And as you can see, I'm getting the 3.35% APY now on this cash, which is great. So what you will see is that you will have this option open right here. And what you will also notice is that the delta is a little bit lower at 0.27. The other delta was like 0.9. So I, reduced my delta for that reason, make it a little bit better for me. So you would hit roll position right over here. I know it's where my head is, but you hit roll position. And basically what rolling a position is going to do is that it not only closes out your current one and then reopens a new one after that. So right now, again, I'm at a 1750, I believe, for July 17th, I believe. Yep, 1750 right there. Oh no, June. Sorry, this June 17th. So June 18th. So right now I'm at a 1750 right here, as you will see. So I can't roll that one out. But let's say that it comes around to May and the stock's getting pretty close, and then some big news breaks out. I'm like, I need to get out of this thing or whatever. You can either close it out and buy to close it just to take your losses and call it a day. Or if you're like, I think it still has a good valuation to it, you might be able to roll it out to July, for example. And what you would do is you would say, I'm going to roll to July. You could either roll the strike price up or you can roll it down. So not only are you changing the date, but you're changing the actual strike as well. You would have hit, the $15 one, for example. And as you will see, it'll reduce your strike price. It'll push out your expiration date, but it's also going to cost you $48. It's going to cost you $147 to close this, and then you get paid $100 about for it. So you get the difference, makes it a debit. If you wanted to go super far out, which again is not always, the best idea. But if you wanted to keep the same strike price but roll it out till, say, September, which is even further out in this case, you would be able to do that as well. And this one actually gives you a credit instead. Again, what it's going to do and what this would do is it will close this current position up here, and then it would open up a brand new one down here in a matter of one click. It does both of them for you, and it fills the positions the best they can, and then that's it. So that's how you would roll a position for that reason. Now, that's one way that you can manage your position. Obviously, I could have just bought to close it and taken my loss here, but, if I get assigned at $17.50 from a value perspective, I still feel like it's very undervalued. I just think that's getting slaughtered with bad news, and the margins are great. There's no debt for it, so I'll just, de-risk a little bit for that reason. That's one way you can do it. You can close the position, which I'm going to do in this case. You can roll the contract, either roll it farther out. You can roll the strike price down, however it is you want to do it. The last thing you could do, which again happened to be on another software play I have here with UiPath, and as you can see, UiPath also slaughtered 15.85% here in this case. And what you will notice here is that instead of rolling, because rolling wouldn't make sense for this contract here. I'll show you the numbers a little bit later on here. So I sold a UiPath $11 put option for $37 right here. Got that premium for it. It was great. My break even be down at like 1063 or whatever the case may be, right? So that was great. UiPath sells off just like all the other softwares sell off because of the news and the worrisome and stuff like that. And then I go in the money. And I'm looking at buying the shares at $11, and right now it's at $9.40. So again, I'm in the money. I'm down about, if I buy the shares on Friday this week and it expires, I would be down $160 already on this trade. Unless we get a rebound, which I don't know if we will, but I would like that. So what did I do? Well, instead of me rolling it out here, what I actually did was I sold another cash secured put at a lower strike price for the same expiration for more premium. Kind of like doubling down in a way. But what does this do? Well, it brings down, if I get a sign on both these, right now I'm in the money for both of these, which, is whatever. I'm in the money for both of them. It's only going to be, $2,000. The trade desk one was $22.50, so it was a little bit more than that. But what this is going to do is that instead of getting assigned at $11 only, I would get assigned at $11, 100 shares, and I'll get assigned again another 100 shares at $9.50. So already this is going to reduce my cost basis right here. Already, it reduces the cost basis because I'll get 100 shares here and then 100 more shares right here. I believe it puts my average share price from $11 down to $10.25. So just by selling this other contract here, I'm already bringing down my average cost basis from $11 down to $10.25, which is great. That's amazing. And on top of that, I would have collected $67 for 200 shares worth. So my average cost per share is going to be $10.25. I can pull up a calculator here for us to do some math here because who doesn't like to do math? So again, right now I would have $1,100 there plus the $9.50 for shares. Cut that in half, gives me the $10.25. So my average cost basis, that should have been $10.25, is $10.25 for 200 shares worth. Right? That's what I'm going to have. So 200 shares at an average cost of $10.25, and I'm getting paid out $67. No pun intended here. $67 here. For doing these two trades here. So $67 over 200 shares comes in for about, again, half of that for per 100 shares here, would be bringing your break even down about, $33.50? So you take away minus $33.50. Minus 33 cents. So $10.25 minus 33 cents-ish. Puts me now down to $9.92. So just by selling this extra cash secured put, which yes, it did take some money for it, but remember, I got $500 back in collateral from Trade Desk, and that $500 went right back into this one right here. Like most of it, not all of it, but a lot of it went back into here. So not only did I reduce my cost basis, I went from $11 per share down to $9.92 per share. I got more shares, I got more equity, I got more of a position in it. but it allows me to reduce my cost basis to under $10. So now if I wanted to, if I get assigned these this week, which I'm kind of thinking I'm going to, I could then go ahead and then start selling some covered calls. And not only do I sell one covered call, I have 200 contracts, so I can sell 2 covered calls and make some good money back as a result. Again, my break even is $9.92 right now, about. So if I wanted to sell a cover call for, say, May 15th, I could sell one at $10 right now. Well, when I get assigned, because that's 8 cents above my break even. And I could sell 2 of these contracts here and make, almost $100. Make almost $100 there. And if it expires, and if these expire worthless, it just takes away another, 50 cents down off my position. It reduces my cost basis again and again and again. So this is the first time I'm really looking at doing this, but I really think this is going to be a good play for you long term. I have conviction on UiPath. They're doing great as a company. The growth is there. I think they just there's in the bad news sector, the whole sector selling off. It's not just UiPath. It's the whole sector selling off in this case. When do they have earnings coming up? May 28th. So if I really wanted to be super, a little bit farther out here, I could do like a May 27th one. I could go to even, like a 1050, for example, or an 11 and get some passive income and wait for earnings. And then set another cover call and hope to get a good earnings report. So that's kind of the strategy here. And again, I'm going to let you guys know and I'm going to update you how it's going to work. But my break even now, my average is going to be around 992. And right now it's at 940. If we get a little bit of a rebound, great. The also other reason this could work out as a potential trade, again, not financial advice, if UiPath goes above 950 this week and this expires worthless, this $30 is just extra premium to factor in to my $11 I'm being assigned at. So I would have collected $67 here and only get 100 shares at $11. So that brings my cost basis down to like 1033. So it still will bring my average down even more. So, worst case scenario, I get assigned both of them and I got 200 shares of this position here. Best case scenario, this one expires worthless. And then I'm able to have that premium also help me factor my cost basis for this one right here. So that's 2 ways you could do it. Again, there's different ways you can manage these kind of positions. You could just buy the close and just take the loss. Like I could take that UiPath one and take my $100 loss, but I'm not going to. I still have conviction on UiPath. And you could just, either go down a level if you still have the conviction for it and try to get a little bit more, capture more premium in the meantime. Or you could roll your position out, as you'll see with Trade Desk down over here, right above my finger right here. So those are 2 ways I've managed them. I will let you guys know at the end of this week. I'll do a follow-up video, and I'll break down what happened. So that way I get a good understanding as to what the results look like, especially for UiPath. For Trade Desk, not so much. I think that one's going to just kind of sit there for a little while, but we'll wait and see. But that is it for today's video. So 2 ways you can manage the positions. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight of things. Again, none of this is financial advice. This is just me giving you my 2 cents on how I'm looking at it here. Again, if you have conviction, why not, right? So thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you did make this far in the video, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those notifications as per usual. I do hope you're making money in the market in some way, shape, or form. And as always, I will catch you guys in the next video.